This is Mike Lingle from Rocket Pro Forma, and today we're going to talk about employee assumptions. So these are part of your operating expenses, and the changes you make here, especially these top couple boxes, affect what's happening in the hiring plan. So in the hiring plan, we can hire the different positions, give them salaries, say when they start, and that number is adjusted by the payroll load, which is typically benefits and taxes. So payroll taxes in the United States, the company pays half of the payroll taxes and the employee pays the other half. And benefits would be health insurance, 401k, whatever else, whatever other expenses you're adding to an employee's salary. And basically what this does is it just adds this amount to the salary calculation. So in this case, I have a smaller amount in year one because we're just covering our share of the payroll taxes that the employees aren't covering. But then we ramp up as we start to make more money and grow as a company, we're able to spend more on our employees. So our payroll load grows over from year one to year two to year three. You can also factor in annual salary increases. So in this case, obviously there's no increase in year one, but from year one to year two, there's a 3% increase across the board. And from year two to year three, there's a 5% increase across the board. The recruiting fee, a lot of times in year one, companies know who they're going to hire. But pretty quickly, if you're growing, you need to step outside your immediate circle. You start paying recruiters. Recruiters are somewhat expensive. So in this case, the recruiter is charging 20% of the employee's annual salary. In this case, it's 20% year one, year two, year three. But I don't turn on the recruiting until month 13, which is not until year two. So effectively, this year one number means nothing if I'm not starting until year two. I can change this. So this would be starting, let's say I want to start in the middle of year two, or I could change it to month 25, which would be the first month of year three. I can decide when to turn on the recruiting, but basically this is an expense. Every time I add an employee after month 13, so if I set this head of sales to month 13, that person will be hired with a recruiter. In addition, when I hire someone, I typically need to buy them a computer and some furniture, a desk, a chair, whatever. So I can set that cost here, and then I can set again the start month. So in this case, the founders show up with their own computers and we cobble together some furniture. But then starting in year two, which is month 13, we're going to start spending $2,500 every time we hire someone. And again, this is just automatic. So because this starts in month 13, when I hire this head of sales in month 13, not only is the recruiting fee going to get charged, but we're going to buy them a computer and a desk. And you'll see at the bottom of the hiring plan, you'll see the headcount here for the different business groups. You'll see the basic salaries, and then you'll see the loaded salaries, which are with the raises, the benefits, etc. And then you'll see the recruiting fees down here. So you'll see when I hire that head of sales in month 13, I pay a recruiting fee of 20% of their annual salary. And so that cost just gets accounted for here at the bottom of the hiring plan. So play with this. Again, this can have a pretty powerful effect on your expenses, especially if you're hiring a bunch of employees. But of course, your employees are your most important asset, so you want to spend appropriately to attract and retain them. But there's a lot of power here, so play with it. It's pretty easy to control and to control your 3-year assumptions, and just reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions. And make sure as you make these changes that you're actually mapping out your hiring plan in the hiring tab, because this all affects what's happening in the hiring plan tab. Check it out. Thanks.